Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name remains Real Talk with Auntie Aduni. To all my subscribers, thank you for staying tuned. And if you are new on this page, I want to welcome you especially. Today we are talking on Pastor Sam Adeyemi. Who is Pastor Sam Adeyemi? This is Pastor Sam Adeyemi. In case you don't know, Pastor Sam Adeyemi is the pastor in charge and the founder of Daystar International Church, located in Lagos, Oregon precisely. I don't know if they moved from there. And the man is somebody that I always loved his teaching, because they are teachings that will push and wake up your brain. So I've always loved his teaching. I'm sure you are shocked that I love the teaching of a pastor. Yes, when I see pastors who are realists, I listen to them and I want to share whatever they say. So he is one of the pastors that I've always listened to him. And also he's somebody that I've met before. We were together in Kwara State Poly in the late 80s with his brother Victor Adeyemi. I think that one is in Ibadan. All of us were under the tutelage of Pastor George Adegboye of Rema Chapel in Ilorin in those days. He might not remember me, but I remember him very well. So I always loved his teaching, because his teaching is more of a motivation that inspires, that will wake up people's brain. That is, if they are ready to listen, if they are not the type that is seeking miracle and expecting manna to fall from heaven. Even though some of these pastors, in fact, most of these pastors, there are some times when they see the truth, they turn away from it. But I like a video I saw about him that he preached on, talking about fasting and prayer, and I want to share it with you. There is also a video I saw about him where he was talking about something that aligned with what I said about Funke Adejumo and Naomi, that few people came to criticize me of, because the preaching that people preach these days is just to, they are not telling the youths the reality, okay? They make them feel, number one, everybody has to be rich. They make them feel that you don't need to do much before you can be rich. They don't let them know that life does not come the way they make it. They might find it easy because of one thing or the other, but not everybody will find it easy like that. And that is why riches, is unfortunate that we count riches as being successful in our country. We don't care about how those people get the riches. As long as they are rich, we count them to be successful. No, you can be rich and not be a successful person, and you can be successful and not be rich, but you will be comfortable, you will be contented. I would have loved where they are teaching them to be contented. When you look at the kind of greed that we have in our society these days, you look at the youth wanting to buy what their forefathers could not afford, okay, without working. Just like I saw people following Funke Adejumo's daughter-in-law, that said they just bought the 5th house in Canada within 3 years of moving to Canada. Who does that? Now, so it is easy. Anyway, I don't know what's going on, but I saw a video where I saw Funke traveling, and I want to believe she's going to Canada. But I will update you if it is Canada, maybe to go and see the house they just bought. You do your own mathematics together and guess who can be owner of those houses. But that's not why I'm here today. I'm here concerning Pastor Sam Adeyemi, like I said, and I want us to actually listen to what he said.
Other people's gifts, focus on yours. You are focusing on healing people's legs and hands. The Holy Spirit said, if somebody's body is complete, but the person's mind is malfunctioning, will the person be successful? He said, you don't realize that the way I use some people to heal lame hands and legs is the way I use you to heal lameness in the mind. What I observed until then was it was only the people that had science gifts or science ministries, healing the sick, miracles. They were the only ones that had the boldness to print posters then in Nigeria and advertise. All the teaching people were busy hiding somewhere. I came out forcefully. I went on billboards with teaching events. Then my teaching...
I have been, you can say preaching. I have been talking about how you need to start using your brain. And there is a post I put on my page, yeah, on this channel today, and it was talking about your brain being your computer. Okay, it's just like a computer. That be the one to control it, and don't allow somebody to control that head for you. You know, whatever they put in your head stays with you, and you go along with it for so long. The first video we heard that Pastor Sam Adeyemi was talking about, he was talking about the kind of two pastors, the kind of two people, the kind of preaching, two kind of preaching we have in Nigeria. One are the people who make you believe in miracles, okay? And there are some who wake up your mind, okay? It says it talk about the lameness of the mind, while the other ones are talking about the lameness of the body, healing of the body. He is into healing of the brain, which is what I am doing on my page. Take it or leave it. And, you know, he was saying about the people who talk about, and, you know, how God called him and said, this is what I want you to be doing. I don't want you to be a miracle person. If you look at it, of course, he will not come out publicly to castigate his fellow pastors, okay? But if you can really be a deep thinker, stylishly is telling people following them that they are mumu, lameness of the mind. Some people are making your mind lame while proclaiming that they are healing your body, forgetting that the brain matters most in everything. But he said his own calling is to wake up your brain, that even when you are handicapped, you can still achieve as long as this your brain is working. And in that video also, if you listen to him, he was saying, leave other people's gifts and focus on your own gifts. Remember Naomi's video that I did, where she was saying, among all the rest, let your light shine brighter than the others. And I'm like, is life all about competition? And some people came for me, leave Naomi alone. I asked question. I say, what job does Naomi do that she has become an inspirator for the young ones? Are we saying the young ones should start running after rich men? This one where we then say, even in church, they will tell you if you are divorced, you can't marry. If you are going to be a minister, you cannot be divorced or marry somebody that is divorced. But when it is the turn of the rich, they turn the rules. She was married to a divorcee, which is Johnny. Oni was married before. After that, she too divorced. Today, she has become a mentor to the others. Why is the rules of Christianity changing every day? Benny, you are one of the people that is making us ask questions now. Why are their rules changing? Because she is rich, she has been welcomed, and suddenly be a mentor. And she was telling, in that video, telling the young ones, focus on, among all the others, make sure your light is shining. Pastor Adeyemi is saying, focus on your own gift. Your gift is your own gift. Don't run another person's race. Because you have come, this sky is very wide for many to fly. Do you, that is when you can have fulfillment. Be contented with you. Love you. Distractions, by the time you start looking at others, you are going to be distracted. We're still going to the second video. You will be distracted. Focus on you. Focus on you. Focus your energy on being a better you. Leave others. Let everybody do them. The only person, I repeat, you can compete with is yourself. Yourself of yesterday. Let the today be better than one of yesterday. Let yourself of tomorrow. Start planning today. Start planning of yourself tomorrow to be a better version of yourself of today. That is when you can stand up later and say, yes, I'm fulfilled. I did my best. Pastor Adeyemi, Sam Adeyemi, is saying he's waking people's brain up, and you will never see this man, okay, saying he is doing miracles. Yes, he might be part of the people taking offering and tithes, but he has not done the extraordinary like the others. So I give it to him one way or the other, okay? Even though he too has his own flaws, there is nobody that is perfect. But one thing I give to him, that he wakes up the brain. That is the first video. Now I want us to watch the second video, which is actually the video based on the topic I have here.
We're part of a culture that celebrates effort and not results. So you hear, if you see the way I prayed, 21 days we were praying and fasting. I said, fine. What was the result? I pray, I fast. I'm not contesting against that. I'm just saying, what was the result? I asked one of my pastor proteges in Nigeria, is doing very well, January 2020, just before COVID. I said, are you aware data just came out that Nigeria just overtook India with the highest number of extremely poor people in the world? He said, what? I said, it's on the internet, go and check it. I said, do you remember also that we've been teaching prosperity in Nigeria for 30 to 40 years? He said, yes. I said, so as you can see, we don't deal with data. So where is the teaching? What is the result of the teaching? If after teaching prosperity for 30 to 40 years, we now produced the highest number of extremely poor people in the world, overtaking India, whose population is 4 times or 5 times that of Nigeria. I said, something is wrong with the curriculum. He said, sir, don't say this outside. You are going to spoil business for people. We're part of a culture that...
Did you hear what he said? That the other people that were present say, Pastor, don't say that one outside, or you will spoil business for some people. If this one does not wake up your brain that your pastors are businessmen, of course, Pastor Adeyemi will not call out names. A word, all he needs to do is he has thrown a jibe, he has thrown kind of, a hint. It is we that we are talking it out, and you are coming to attack us. You heard what he said, that do spoil business for some people. May I never use my hand to do myself. May I never use my money and be sowing into somebody's life, like that brother that's so into Kingdom Investment and his money fly away. Support the law. Pastor Sam was asking what prayer and fasting has done. For those of you that's always saying, I should not say prayer is nothing. I'm not the one that is saying it now. Pastor Sam said, your years of prayers, what have you achieved with it? What have you achieved that you have not put in your effort into? Because when you say you are praying and fasting for something, there should be a result. Where is the result of your effort? You are praying and fasting. Some of us have been using our brain, being calculative, using our money wisely, putting into the right places, and it has brought us this far. If I, as a widow, I told you what happened to me, and my story, I purposely brought out my story to inspire some women that, look, whatever happens to you, it shouldn't be the end. Just manage your resources very well. Like somebody like me, you will never see me taking Ashwebi anyhow. No, I don't. I call them wastages. Whatever I want to put my money into, the next question I'm asking myself is, what is it bringing back? I don't want to spend the money that will not bring something back. And that is why you will see your pastors, they don't just give. The money you give to them, they invest it, and it keeps yielding in there. And that is why you see them very rich today. They are smarter than you. So for Pastor Sam that was asking what our 30 and 40 years of prayer and fasting and prosperity preaching has brought us in Nigeria, especially, and maybe Africa as a whole, but especially Nigeria, because Nigeria is the headquarters of prosperity preaching. I'm going to outline the results for you, and I will end this video. If you have not yet subscribed, it is time for you to subscribe as I round up this video. Now, for Pastor Sam that was asking, Pastor Sam Adeyemi, thank you, sir. And thank you, my brother. He's even my brother, maybe a few years older. Egbonoje, yeah. I remember we all were together, like I told you, in Ilorin in those days. So, Pastor Sam, these are the people that I will say are doing God's work. Of course, he's eating out of it too. Make we leave that side for now, okay? We go leave that one, whether it's a chop or be no chop tight. That is not, but it's waking people's brain up. At least it's not a miracle, and you receive your hand, I say I receive. He's not doing all that. His own is that it teaches and make the brain to wake up, except you are not ready to pick from what he's saying. I've always loved his teaching anyway. So number one, Pastor Sam, that you are asking that, what has our 30 years prosperity preaching and fasting and praying for so long done for us? It has brought us to the level of greed. That is why every average Nigeria In fact, if you carry 10 Nigeria down, or let me say 100 Nigeria, maybe you will see 2 or 3 of us that are content with what we have and will not go out of our way. So it has increased greed. It brought about kidnapping. It brought about ritual killing. It brought about stealing public funds. It brought about wetin we dey do again? Yahoo. It brought about Ponzi. Even in the house of God, it has produced a lot of results. Not only that, it has produced different kind of pastors in Nigeria now, that we have them so many. In fact, I'm rolling out different types till this week. You will see the kind story, the kind ministration, funny ministration for your God of men, where I gather together. I'm going to start rolling them out this week. So if you have not yet subscribed, subscribe. So Pastor Sam Adeyemi has spoken. He said your 21 days fasting and prayer, dry fasting, yellow fasting, watery fasting, dry and watery. Dry and watery. What is the opposite of dry? It is dry, it is wet. Dry and wet fasting. Your yellow and green fasting. There is white fasting. There are your brown fasting. What has it produced? Your years of prayers. The man takes time. Maybe they no conference. He say, I'm not saying prayer is not good. He say, I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying all these things are not good. But I'm just asking, what has it produced? And like I've always said, I say it is not by prayers. And I repeat it and I stand on it. My opinion is different from yours. If you think it's by prayer, continue to pray. If you think it's by using your brain and being logic, continue to be logic. How many prayers are your God of men praying for them to be rich? Are they really praying, or they are using brain on you? Okay, they help you to process what you can't process in your brain. They help you to process your brain and they smile to the bank. Until I come your way again, I'm glad I found somebody whose teaching aligned with what I am talking on this page. Thank you very much.